A warm welcome to Anuradha Vedic Astrology. Today we are going to look into a very simple rule regarding the second house and how to analyze a chart just by taking into account the second lord and its associates. But before that, a big thanks to all of you for liking, sharing and subscribing to our YouTube and Spotify channels and writing in your comments and suggestions there. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please do, and do remember to press the bell icon so that you can get the updates ASAP. When we talk about the second house, it is all about administration, it is all about money, it is all about learnings, and it is all about family. First and foremost, we need to understand how one is capable of earning also from the second house. Now, the second lord, it's very easy to know one strong principle is the lord of any house is the one who does work for that house. So, wherever the second lord goes and sits, it will work from that place. One, and we have made a series about it earlier on, what happens when a particular lord is in different houses. Now, there is another principle associated. What happens when the second lord is sitting with a particular planet or is in conjunction or is in aspect, PAC, it is conjunct, it is placed in that a particular planet's house, or it is aspected or by a certain planet, or it is in conjunction with a certain planet. Here we are taking up the aspect in conjunction part. How does that work? Whenever we are sitting with somebody, we are influenced by a person. Wherever I go and sit, that is the place I reveal my identity in, and whoever I sit with, I am influenced by that person. As yad brahmande tat pinde. So, as is above, so happens below. As we work, so is the very nature of the planets. Now, wherever the second lord goes and sits, it will work from there, and whoever that it is sitting with. Say it's sitting with sun, that means it has an authority to work with. We have to hear when it's sitting with sun, please remember that it is not combust. If it's combust, it will not be able to show its materialistic attitude. So, provided the disclaimer is that it is not combust, when a second lord is sitting with sun, it will give you a job in administrative works, it will make a person wealthy, it will bring in name and fame for the person, and it will definitely bring in large amounts of money, but for that the person will have to toil or will have to burn itself. When the second lord is sitting with moon, the person can earn through the emotions of others. He or she can work on a public domain, but unlike the sun, it will not be very strong, it will not be in an administrative position, but it will be on a softer emotional level. The person can also earn through futures, through the stock market, which like the moon is also not very steady and keeps moving up and down. When the second lord is placed with the planet Mercury, Mercury is a planet of commerce, and that also talks about your aptitude of learning. So, it talks about your attitude of your family members, they are very quick. That is how the second lord functions. And what is your aptitude of learning? What is it that you are likely to learn? You are likely to move, have a mind for commerce, for business. See, the planets that are sitting in the second house, they will show their results, but it is the lord which does the work of the house. So, when we are reading a chart, the fundamentals have to be very clear. When we are reading a chart, we should ascertain the lord. If the lord is not well placed, if the lord is afflicted, then that house will not give its proper results. Now, when it's sitting with Mars, the kind of money the person can make is through agencies, which can be advertisement agencies, which can be in the show, not just showbiz, because there's a lot of passion, there's a lot of hard work, hustle bustle that goes on in these agencies. Apart from that, a person will do well when they are associated with somewhat the workings of the police department, the firefighters, these spies, all these agencies. Okay. So, and then when we are talking about Jupiter, when Jupiter is associated with your second lord, you need to understand that you can be a teacher, a counselor, because that is the color the Jupiter will impart to the second lord. Now, one more thing people can ask me is what happens if there is a multiple number of associations, or if there is a lot of effect on the second lord. That also we are likely to see at the end, and do stay tuned for that till then. And when we see the second lord is associated with Venus, Venus is accomplishments. So, the more you learn, Venus is arts, you will be able to do well in arts, be it the arts that one, paintings, drawings, murals, designing, photography, cinematography, or as an actor. All these things are capable when you have that combination of the second lord with Venus. Then when we talk about the planet Saturn, Saturn surely gives administration. It also gives an area where one needs to be very disciplined, where one needs to have a strong focus. And when Saturn is associated with your second lord, you should not be thinking of income on a very large basis. But I am very sure of the fact, I have understood very nicely that it will give you a long term income that most people may not have. You would not be lacking work or income on a long term basis, and you have to be very steady and very focused as well as disciplined about your work. Having said that, let's take a couple of charts, and then we will also see what happens when there are multiple effects on the second lord. The first chart that I take here is that of Hrithik Roshan. In his chart, if you see, it's a Scorpio Lagna, and the second lord is debilitated and retrograde, very powerful, and is along with Venus and is aspected by moon. So, when we are talking about conjunction and aspect, we can see the aspect of moon, which I said was also about emotions. Moon is also money, and so a person can be very emotional, and the person can also be very strong in arts because there is a conjunction of Venus here. So, this gives him an ability to earn his money, to learn what is required through these means, an association of the planet and an aspect of the planet matters. The next chart that we take up is that of Vishwanathan Anand. So, what are the details in his chart? As we see, his second lord is Saturn. Again, this Saturn is retrograde and debilitated. So, any debilitated, and I have made plenty of videos on debilitated planets when retrograde. They are extremely powerful, and it is same maintained throughout all the classics. When Saturn is debilitated and retrograde, and that too in the 4th house, shows a very strong Saturn. That means he has to work steadily and firmly for his money. Again, it is aspected by Jupiter. As I told you, Jupiter talks about knowledge. So, one will have to work in the field of knowledge. One will have to work with knowledge to be able to earn a good amount of money. And because the second lord is Saturn, the person will have to be very disciplined in his work, focused, etc. Now, we come to the point what happens when there are multiple influences on the second lord. When there are multiple influences on the second lord, say somebody has Sun, Mercury sitting with your second lord, somebody has Venus, as we saw Venus and Moon, somebody has Mars, Sun, Jupiter aspecting the second lord. So, here all of them will impart their qualities. If you can take the quality of Sun, Mars and Jupiter aspecting the second lord, such a person would be highly authoritative, can give very good counsel and can be very logical, very precise in their thought process, and that will help them earn a lot of money. What we need to understand is the Karakatva, the basics of the planet. Again, I repeat, basics are very important when we look into chart reading and how to read a chart practically. Till we meet with you again, stay safe. Thank you.
Please hit the bell icon for fresh updates. Don't forget to like, share and comment on the videos, and please subscribe to our channel.